He says your sense of well-being is a measure of the length between this spot here and this spot here. If that is shortened, your happiness goes down. If that is lengthened, your happiness goes up. If you just lengthen that all the time, you're just happy, happy, happy. You go from bliss to bliss, essentially. Because you can't do that unless you're learning, releasing, opening, going forward into Shambhala, uplifted. You just, everything that causes you to go wrong, you just use that as fuel to go right. It's just how things work. The Dharma, the meaning of the Dharma is how things work. Well, this is how things work. We have a tendency to go into our cocoon. The moment we do, we recognize it and we go out. And there's nothing other than that, really. There's nothing better than that, really. There's nothing as good as that, really. There's only that. Fighting yourself, missing the mark, and then with ease and grace and gentleness, discovering your balance. There's nothing other than that. That's what we do in Alexander. We just practice that all the time, and we just get better at it. We combine it with our mindfulness. We combine it with our meditation. We combine it with learning. We combine it with softening and gentleness and curiosity and openness and generosity and giving. And at the same time, bravery, steadiness, never taking off, never laying in the dirt. I'm going to take a week off and lay in the dirt by the beach. We don't have that kind of mentality. We're just, I don't need off. I don't need off. I don't need to take off. This is too much fun. This is too much real. This is too much tasting reality, growing, learning, riding our horse of freedom from laziness, wearing our armor of infallibility, holding the sharp weapons of Vrajna. That's what we want to do, really. That's what we want to do. As Alexander practitioners, we do those things. We are not lazy, we just come back. We just come back. We can lose it a bit and then we come back. So then your teacher is going to suggest this little, and she's going to use your constructive thinking. You're going to be the one thinking. It could just be very, very simple, which is the best way. Neck free. Or my head goes toward ease. My head goes toward ease. There's just a little ease that can happen in your head. You want that. You crave that. That's what meditation is all about. It's the law. It's the lu. It's the heaven. It's the earth. And then the man is the one that puts it all together in the middle. Lives in the middle of this heaven and this earth. And earth is just, it's just a different way of going, but it's the same thing. You're releasing that way. Heaven, you're releasing that way. Man, you're releasing that way. So it's just joining those three processes, which are really one process in a way, but feels like three, feels like one, feels like a unity of three and one. So what we always do is we notice. One of my main teachers, he calls it noticing. You just notice. Notice the tension in my neck. Notice what change it makes you to notice the tension in your neck. Notice what happens. But then often we want to, and these are not actually, you don't actually have to do this second and third, but it's very, at the beginning, the second and third are really necessary. Later on, you can almost become This goes 1, 2, 3. You don't even think about it as 1, 2, 3, but you train yourself. Notice a constructive thought. Head goes toward ease is one of them you could use. And the third one is you make a movement. And this does not have to be a slow movement. I think in the beginning, slow movements can be very useful, but they can be a little wooden too, maybe. Not natural, and you think this has nothing to do with anything because it's that slow. But so you can do it. You don't have to do it slow, but doing it slow helps you see things. It's smart. Trump Rinpoche did everything so slow you wanted to throw up. It upset your idea of how speedy you were compared to how slow he was nauseating. It was upsetting to your ego. But he didn't care. He said, I can't afford to be in a hurry. In Alexander, we can't afford to be in a hurry. If we were to get in a hurry just a little bit, it's all out the window, man. The baby and the bathwater is gone. The learning situation has been foregone. For what purpose exactly? Because you can get there a tenth of a millionth of a second faster and ruined while you did it. We can't do that. We can't believe that way. We can't go that way. That's the way of death. That's the way of samsara. It's the way of suffering. All your suffering will come from just that decision. If you decide I ain't going to do that, I ain't going to get my body all screwed up to try to be in a hurry, you'll have happiness after happiness. You'll have bliss followed by bliss. If you do the other one, instant suffering and suffering from it forever, you know. Try it. It's true. So you're just going to move your head. She doesn't really want to move your head for you, but she doesn't really want you moving your head in the old way neither. Your teacher, your Alexander teacher. It's like leading a horse on a lunge line. You can't let the horse lead, but you don't want to horse the horse. You don't want to, but you just want to show them. You want to show them the Tao. Who can show you the Tao, man? It's been a lot of years trying to. I mean, nobody had to show me the Tao when I was doing Tai Chi, but you know, to write a paper or I couldn't understand what the Tao was. But she's trying to show you the Tao, and you'll never understand it, except that this is it. Other than that, don't have to worry about it. You don't have to really know that way. You just have to know this way. But she's trying to show you the Tao, to move not in the old way, but to move in a totally free way. So you just think I got a silver mood cord, think I got a couple of minutes here on the meditation cooking to work on my hla, get my hla going in a very hla direction. Get out of my old habits here, do a little work on the body side of the meditating aspect. You just turn that head, or don't do it in meditation, do it on, practice it, just start in your chair and practice it. Pretty soon you'll think it's a damn good idea to do it on anytime you can squeeze it in. You just turn that head real slowly, so slowly. Or you can turn it fast if you want, but man, you're gonna get some powerful releases from doing it so slow that your body can't go the old way. Your body cannot come up with a way that works to go this slow. But the Tao might happen. Some kind of freedom might happen. Some kind of interesting mode of being might show up. It's the real mode of being altogether, but you've been separate from it. You just practice. It's just a practice. Sometimes you'll be cramming it in, sometimes you'll be just freezing it. All kind of things you'll do, but you just notice the extra. I'm just interested, is there something extra here, or is there freedom? If there's freedom, that is just fantastic. I'm flying. If there's something extra here that is keeping me from freedom, that's even more interesting. That's even more to the point. That is more addressing the situation in a way. A little of both never hurts, but to us as Alexander students, we are more interested about things going wrong. That's the meat. That's the meat in that sandwich. That's what you're going for, really. But you let others like bliss, but you can get attached to bliss and you think it should be all bliss, and it's not about digging down in the dirt and getting in the manure, I don't, that's not for me, that's for some kind of being who's below me to do that. We want to dig in the shit, man. We want to mix the manure and the shit, mix it all together and make this field of Bodhi. It's all about seeing wrong and then discovering right. But the right is good, don't get me wrong. But if you cling to the right and look away from the not right, you miss the point. You haven't quite realized what's going on here. And that's true about everything, man. The Kagyu system, we say, we make one mistake after another until we attain enlightenment. And the bigger our mistakes, those are the real glory. When we look back, or even in the moment, that will be the glory. When we make a total ass out of ourselves in front of the guru and the whole community, that is glory. And then we get it. All of a sudden we get it. I can't just be a dumbass, not pay attention, I gotta discover this thing, which is Dharma, which is Rinpa, which is freedom, which is naturalness, which is the Tao. But the only way you get it is by working with your cocoon, working with your habitual patterns, making mistakes, being not totally there, when you needed to be there. Got pointed out to you, but that is the best. Nothing as good as that. You'll never find anything as good as that. Especially when you develop a taste for it, then you just completely sail. So many people have not gotten to that point. They can't get it that way. Instead, they pull back and are ashamed, and I never want that to happen again. I'm never going to stick my neck out again. Not afraid to be a fool. You could learn that in Alexander, man. You can't learn that in many places. It's not easy to learn. In Alexander, you do it in a safe environment, just endlessly. And I need to get a taste for it, man. So side to side, there's a whole thing with your eyes. Basically, we don't know what we're doing with our eyes, and it is ruining our life. It's a little worse that we don't know what we're doing with our thoughts, and that's ruining our life, but it's almost as bad what we're doing with our eye, and they're connected. If your eyes are good, you don't have any thoughts. The reason you got all these thoughts because you don't know what you do with your eyes. It works together. This is working together. But in Alexander, usually what we do is we discover that our eyes are lagging behind. We're not really there. We're not really there. So our eyes are not there. But in Alexander, at some point we realize we lead with our eyes. We want to be a little ahead, leading with our eyes rather than eyes are coming in behind, too late, too late. Oh, and now I'm leading with my eyes. Wow, what a difference, what a difference. What a difference putting a little attention on the situation will make. So that's one thing with your eyes. There's a whole lot of stuff, with your eyes, but that's a very simple one, not that advanced, so to speak. It is kind of bad, but it doesn't lead you into wild areas of Vipassana necessarily. It's just a shamatha, this is not Vipassana, really. Except it's so important to get a handle on what you do with your eyes. That's one way to do it. As well as meditation is an excellent way to do it. So that's skill set number one, back and forth, slowly or not slowly, but just back and forth, man. I have spent 15,000 hours back and forth and had so much fun. It's so much fun. So much fun. That's the best one in a way, although this was very good too. The second thing your teacher might do with you is